Well, COVID-19 has impacted industries across the board, including transportation. NFTA ridership is roughly 50% less than it was pre-pandemic. Now that, along with staffing shortages, is now forcing the agency to cut back on services. Our Liz Lewin has more on what customers can expect and their thoughts on this new decision.
I don't know, it's just scary stuff.
The effects of the pandemic and the continued national labor shortage are now impacting the roads. Effective February 13th, 8 out of 12 express NFTA bus routes will be temporarily suspended in an effort to help stabilize operations and improve service reliability. And while this decision wasn't an easy one, the NFTA says it hopes this will improve customer experience.
We were having to cut routes sporadically. That is something that is very problematic for riders.
Speaking of riders, we stopped by a couple bus stops to ask their thoughts on this decision.
Cut back the routes is not going to change nothing. It's going to make it worse. It's going to make it worse.
It's definitely scary to think about. I don't know how I'd get around. Uber prices have been jacking up too, up to like $25 for like a 7-minute ride. I don't know, with the snow being like this, so that is pretty upsetting.
The express routes that won't be affected will continue service because they're the only bus service in that area. In addition, evening routes after 6 p.m. and weekend service will likely see longer wait times between pickups.
We don't want to leave people high and dry. We want to make sure that we're doing everything possible. So those routes that are suspended are across, all the communities and are very popular. But again, they're extras. So those extras have to go first.
These temporary changes will not affect kids getting to and from school, paratransit, nor the railways.
This is not something that we want to do. It's something that was, really just, we really didn't have a lot of options, but we feel that this is the most bearable way we can reduce. But certainly as soon as the situation gets better, we will bring back as much service as possible.
As for when that might be,
as soon as we can get to a point where we are going to be adding. When is that going to happen? We really can't predict. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
As we know, recruitment is a serious issue for a lot of businesses through this pandemic. Teteris says they had been boosting their marketing efforts at the NFTA as well. They had an open house last weekend. 27 people showed up, she said, which is good news considering usually they don't have any this time of year. In Buffalo, Liz Lewin, Channel 2 News.